Okay. The next installment of the pepper tasting experience. Today is August 4th, and I'm still drawing from the peppers that were sent to me by Andy Goodrich at Payne Forest Farms. This one that we're going to do today is a Primotalii. It's a cross between a 7-pot Primo pepper and a Fatalii. A Fatalii pepper will be about as hot as, say, 500,000 Scovilles, whereas the 7-pot Primo is at 1.5 million Scovilles. This is a cross between those two peppers, so the heat could be anywhere between 500,000 to 1.5 million. And then, you know, because it's most likely a hybrid, I mean, I don't know how Andy's operation functions. I'm assuming this was open pollinated. I could be wrong. But if you have an open pollinated hybrid, then all bets are off. It could be hotter than 1.5 million, or it might be less hot than 500,000. It could really depend. But before we get into it, I want to show you. That is one gnarly looking pepper. Look at the stinger on that sucker. All right, you know, so it's not very big. But it's going to pack a hell of a punch. So I'm going to eat 1/2 of these, and we'll see how it flies. Actually, before we do this...
Don't cut on my table.
Yes, ma'am. Take a little bit of this green off. Okay. All right, without further ado, the Primotalii. It's going to hurt. Yeah, that's back of the throat action there. Oh! Oh! It tastes different. I mean, it is bad on the back of the throat. Oh! The ears. Real bad pain in the ears. Ah! Oh. 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 It's a problem on the back of the throat right now. Like I can't swallow. Now the sinus. Oh. Guys, the heat isn't all that terrible, but it is all concentrated in a real acute area in my throat. No tip of the tongue. This is unlike any pepper I've had so far. I mean, it is like a hot poker right on that little wiggly thing that you see in cartoons when the cartoons are screaming. It's like that son of a bitch is on fire. I think it's peaked. It may have peaked, but this is going to be a problem for a while. You know, I think there's a certain technique to eating these things that I just have not mastered yet. It's either coming up the nose or I let it rest on the tongue too long, or in this case, I started chewing the pepper and I could tell it was going to be hot, but the heat was not altogether immediate. So as I'm chewing, you know, there's no immediate heat, and I'm thinking, do I have a dud? And then when that heat started to happen, I hadn't swallowed any of it yet. And I panicked because I didn't want all that jazz in my mouth. So I just immediately, all of it went to the back of the throat. And it stayed there for a minute as I was trying to get it down the esophagus. So I think I got a long ways to go in terms of figuring out how I'm going to eat these moving forward. But that Primotalii is a good pepper. Probably that one right there was probably just shy of 1,000,000 Scoville. And had it not all been concentrated on the back of the throat, that might have been much more manageable. But she's peaked, and I'll recover. Have a good one, everybody.